Hi YouTube, Bertina here. So, I got a question from a subscriber, and I wanted to tackle it on our um, drive to Long Island. So, we're going to Long Island for New Year's, and wanted to respond. And so, I'm putting out a video to do a video response to the question because I think it is such a good one. And I think it would probably be too long of a response if I were to do it um, in the text itself. So here it goes. And here's the question. And it was from the video with financial burdens we can't afford, living paycheck to paycheck. So that was the video. I think I put that out the other day. And Kaza 87 Blue wrote, I was able to budget when I was single, but now deal with a younger spouse that likes to rage spend on lots of stuff we don't need. I find some sanity in making contributions to our future retirement, but feel the burden of carrying the debt is one sided. How do you get a free spirited spender to commit to a budget? If the secret ever got out, it would probably save a lot of relationships. So, really great question. First, it sounds like you are discussing your budget. So, the first thing you want to definitely have is communication. Second, budgets conversations, at least when they're first starting out, are not really fun. I mean, like, let's admit that. I myself, I was the spender in the relationship, right, Matt? So Matt's driving. He's doing the driving. I'm not driving, so you don't have to worry. I'm not driving while I'm doing this. Um, I was the spender. I mean, I was the spender. So how would how would this work for me? If I didn't like to budget, I'd still adopt something like the 50-30-20 rule, where 50% is needs, at least when you're first starting out, 30% wants, and 20% savings. And I like to flip that. I really say 20% towards saving, 20% towards wants and discretionary, and 30 towards savings. But if that's unrealistic because of your budget, then try doing the 50-30-20 and give your spouse full control of the 30% that you get to spend on wants, discretionary, everything. And so this way they're controlling and they're empowered to run your portion of the budget as well. And that means if they're spending on Amazon packages, there is no going out to eat. Discuss what that budget number is and give that person full control of it. Because they're managing the fund money, they're going to see that it's limited, and it's limited for everyone, including folks like Jim Carrey, who actually admitted to having to go back to work to earn money. So we're all limited by our income. So nobody has an endless pot of money for a budget, unless, of course, they're like Jeff Bezos or something like that, you know. But that said, virtually no one has endless pot of money for their budget. So empower, have discussions, and also try to get your spouse involved in the other portions of the budget so that they could see the savings growing. So they see, maybe even make it equal. See the amount, instead of it being um, 30-20, it could be 25-25, so that you actually seeing and what savings is growing. And by the way, savings is spending. So you're spending it on savings and they're spending it on the fund money budget. And so if they're buying too many Amazon packages or too many other things, that means there's going to be less money for coffee, less money for vacations, less money for doing other things. So empower your spouse to control. And it doesn't mean that um, they shouldn't be involved in the other portions of the budget. But if they're feeling like a spendthrift, they have to understand that there's not an unlimited pot of money. The other thing that you could do is have it just become from a debit card. And so that the money that is spent is a cash amount, and open up a new bank account that just controls that fund money. When it runs out, it runs out. So there is no going over, no excess. And then you have to have check-ins. The, you need to have conversations about where the money is going. And you're not going to feel scared or as concerned when the fund money budget is being used, because that's what it's for. And I would imagine that this there would be less selfishness going on, because if, let's say, this person were me, I can't imagine that I'd be spending all the fund money budget on clothes, because that would mean that my spouse isn't getting any fun. So I can't imagine that I would be that selfish. So I can't see that happening as well. And the other thing to consider is there are plenty of books on money and relationships. I know my husband and I both get our own spending money, and so there is no fights over money because we get a set amount, and his is a little bit different than mine because reality is I want to be able to save it more. Well, I don't really need to spend it. He spends mostly for the two of us and a lot of things. So even when we do go out, it feels nice when I don't even have to think about the spending and it's coming from his spending money, which is really for both of us. So he gets to do more of that kind of money, and it really does help. He controls the budgets of when we go out to eat. And sometimes he's picking different restaurants to try to keep the costs down, and I just go along wherever he wants to go. So have her control or have him control the fun money budget. And then let me think of what else. So Ramit Sethi just wrote a book. I haven't read it, but I think he's a good guy. I think he's really smart, and I like his thoughts. And he's visiting cities around the U.S. I just heard him announce it for Couples and Money or something like that, his new book. So you may want to consider doing that, like, going together and doing something fun. Maybe watch some of the channels together and try to get your spouse interested in the saving portion of the budget. So the saving portion of the budget, whether it's going to, retirement accounts, get involved, have discussions, and on the goals that you have for that money as well. So whether that be to, beef up retirement so that you have a more luxurious life in the future, then have discussions about your financial goals, including what you want for the fund money budget. I mean, you can contribute your own ideas on it, but again, empower your spouse to control that portion of the budget. That's just my idea. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean, all of us are very different, so I don't know if that could work for you, but I know in a kind of a way it does work for us, and just trying to help where I can. But anyway, this is Regina on my way to Long Island. I hope everyone's having a great, happy holiday, and we are always going really slow. The traffic's going slow. So I'm going to try not to get self-conscious because people see me filming. I'm actually not even looking in the camera much. Sorry about that. Anyway, thanks for the question. And if anyone else has other ideas of what people could do, put them in the comment section on this video. How do couples manage money when one is not really interested in sticking to a budget? Go to a cash system. That could be another one. Yeah. So anyway, I'll catch you on the next one, and take care. And thanks for the question. Bye.